Aha!
Here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Welcome to the DJ Greg podcast. I'm glad you're here. Listen, when I was at a Minnesota Timberwolves game years ago at Target Center, downtown Minneapolis, this DJ bent my ear with his methods of cutting, scratching, mixing, and making everything sound dope. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to have here with me today the official DJ of the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Minnesota Lynx, the owner and creator of Generation Now DJs and Entertainment, my man, DJ Mad Mardigan. What's up, my man?
Love the intro, Greg.
Hey, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Great to be here, man.
Right on. I'm glad you are on the show. Before we begin, I want to know how you got your name, DJ Mad Mardigan, because many of us don't know what a Mardigan is, and I want to know what you're mad about.
Hang on a second. Let me see this.
You okay?
I got your answer.
Oh, you got my... okay.
This guy right here in this classic 80s adventure film is, well, it's Val Kilmer, but his name is Mad Mardigan in this movie. And so in 1999, I was a freshman at Winona State, and I had just bought my first turntable, and I was trying to figure out what to call myself, you know, like all of us, we're trying to figure out what our DJ name is going to be.
Right.
And at first I was the Osterizer. And that's because my mom had this blender with the brand name Oster. Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how we said it. So I was like, oh, well, I'm a DJ, so, you know, I blend and I mix and I blend. So right. I'm going to call myself the Osterizer. So nobody liked that. I didn't even like it. I just don't know what else to do. But then my brother Elliot and I, excuse me, which was a huge influence on me, my younger brother Elliot, him and I would watch Willow a lot, especially when we were down on vacation in Sanibel Island with our dad. He'd take us down there like once a year for a little while there. And so we'd always rent Willow and watch Willow. And it was down there that we were watching, and it was Mad Mardigan this and Mad Mardigan that in the movie. Mm-hmm. And my brother's like, yo, that would be a dope DJ name. I was like, Mad Mardigan. Oh, that does sound kind of dope for a DJ. I was like, all right, let's do it. And so yeah, I changed it to Mad Mardigan, and then luckily we didn't really do a lot of research on how to spell it, so we just kind of spelled it the way we thought it was spelled.
Right.
That worked out in our favor, because if we would have spelled it the right way, now if you Googled Mad Mardigan like it's spelled in the movie, you'd probably be seeing Val Kilmer and not DJ Mad Mardigan. So that error actually worked out in our favor. So yeah, because it's spelled with a T in the movie, and I spell it with a D. There's one other difference. I can't remember what it is, but yeah. So it's just stuck ever since.
Nice. Yeah. So now, when you bought the turntables, I mean, what kind was it? Was it belt driven? Was it direct? Because we all started out on something.
Oh man, it was a direct drive turntable, and I only had enough money for one.
Okay.
And it was a Gemini. I don't know the model number, but I mean, you had to be real delicate when you move the record, because it would jump real easily. So for scratching, like, it wasn't optimal, but you know, it forced me to keep a steady hand and just really focus on just the baby scratch, the tear scratch, which is forward 1, back 2, and stuff like that, you know, because I didn't have a mixer either. I just had a turntable. So I plugged my turntable into my Onkyo receiver. So I would play, you know, just like tracks on a CD player on a different, you know what I'm saying? And then I would just had the turntable plugged into a different speaker, so I could scratch along with instrumentals and stuff that I had on CD or whatever.
Wow.
And it was terrible, you know, it's terrible. Everyone was like, yo, this is whack, dude. What are you doing? I was like, I just started. Like, give me a couple months.
Right. It takes a while to develop those skills.
I'm still developing them. you know?
Right on.
Like, never stop developing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's blending, there's scratching, there's so many different elements to the game. That way, when I saw you like first, like a little behind the scenes, you were doing it all. You were playing with the pads on the S9, and
Yeah, I love that.
then of course, with the scratching, the blending, and the effects. Like I'm like thinking this dude has his own unique sound when he does his mixing. How long would you say that it took you to get to that point where you're like, yo, I got this right now?
I don't know, man. Like, so it was then that was like in January. So then in summer, I bought a mixer. In the beginning of summer, it was a Gemini mixer. It was, whatever I could afford.
Right.
And then later that summer, I bought a Technique 1200 because I knew that's what I wanted to get up to, So I worked all summer and just blew it all, on. It's not just a turntable. You got to get the head shell. You got to get the needle. You got to get the cartridge. You got to get records, slip mats. So yeah. So then I had a Tech 12, and then I realized, oh man, now I can do so many different scratches.
Right.
And then incorporate the crossfader with the Gemini mixer. And so then my main goal in the very beginning was to do DJ battles.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to do. I didn't have any. I just wanted to like sit in my bedroom, practice scratching, and go and do DJ battles. And so that's what I did for the first few years of my career. I didn't even really do like house parties or nothing, especially I didn't do like clubs. I didn't do any sports, I just was a bedroom DJ, and I just wanted to scratch and do turntablism.
Right. And then eventually you did win some awards by doing battles. Am I correct?
Yeah, I won. I won a couple Guitar Center store battles. I got to there was basically 2 rounds. The only time the DMCs was in town, it was at the Quest back in the day. I think that was 2001 or something.
Right.
And I made it past there was 2 rounds, so I made it in the second round. So that was pretty cool because it was like DJ abilities just killed everybody. I don't know if you know him, but he's just so dope. Like probably one of the dopest turntable DJs, especially in the battle scene. He just destroyed everybody. But yeah, so I did my best. I mean, you spend so much time on these routines.
Yeah.
And then you get like 6 minutes. You get put together a 6-minute routine, or sometimes it's even shorter in the earlier rounds.
Yeah.
And so that's what I put a lot of my focus on. I mean, even in college, like I would just be pretty much entirely focused on figuring out how to do all these different scratches and beat juggling techniques and incorporate those into my battle sets. So I can't remember what your original question was, but I'm still learning. I mean, just little things too, where you want to incorporate what you have recently learned into your next live performance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether it's how you say something on the microphone that you kind of figured out, oh man, it worked way better to say it this way. Or I'm really big on mixing up your mixes. Like I'm really big on, if you just did, 4 8-bar mixes in a row, then mix it up, and the next one, just drop it on the 1. Don't do a blend, or do a 4-bar mix instead.
Right.
Or do some kind of echo out and change it up entirely, so that's been kind of my most recent, I guess, focus is mixing up the transitions and the mixes, like don't do the same exact mix or the same exact way or technique every single time.
Right. Well, I mean, with those different techniques that you just described, that eventually got the attention of somebody downtown in the sports world.
Right.
How did the Timberwolves get you like to say, hey, Nick, come over here? And when did you realize that, I can make some money doing this stuff?
Well, I had the biggest turning point for me was I was graduated college. I still had all my, my gear, my turntables and stuff like that. And I went and got a real job like everybody else, you know what I'm saying? So I started selling insurance. I was an insurance agent and hated it. You know what I'm saying? It was terrible. You want me here at what time? And so, I mean, even my brother was like, dude, what are you doing? This is not you, man. Why don't you be a DJ? I'm like, oh yeah, just be a DJ. Like, it's that easy. Like, just quit my job and start DJing. I had no idea how to do that, but he tragically got in a car accident in 2004. He was 21 and passed away. And so I think it was about 9 months after that event happened, I actually did quit my job and became a DJ. So I was living with my mom at the time, so I didn't really have a lot of expenses because, I moved in because she just lost her son. I just lost my brother. Of course, I'm going to be by, my closest family.
Right.
And so it gave me an opportunity, a window to like actually try to be a DJ for real, like a full-time DJ, like not like a side hustle.
Right.
And so my first gig was at Tiffany's Sports Lounge in St. Paul. It was a college bar, or it is a college bar still, I think. And they had a Thirsty Thursday thing there. So I did every other Thursday, and that's when I fell in love with the live performance thing and making people dance.
Right on.
Because before that, I was really just a battle DJ. And then I was like, wow, this is powerful. And then I made like a marketing kit that had some cool pictures and a mixed CD, this is back in CDs, obviously. And went to like a bunch of different clubs with this kind of promo kit that I made. And it was the Imperial Room that hired me first.
Okay.
And so then I was there for, I think, just Saturdays, and then they wanted me on Fridays. So then it was like, next thing I knew, I was Thursdays at Tiff's, Friday and Saturdays at Imperial Room. And I'm like, Mom, I can actually get my own place. I'm making enough money just doing this right now. So that's how that happened.
Right on. Wow. And then how did the Timberwolves fall into your lap?
Well, that was at the Imperial Room. We eventually started doing this Tuesday night thing, industry night, because everyone else did their industry nights on like Sundays and Mondays. So all the people in the industry would like work on Sundays and Mondays. So we're like, hey, let's do it on Tuesdays so service industry people can actually go out. And it was like packed for many years. It was awesome. It was at Imperial Room in our upstairs room. And Chadwick Folkstead, who is kind of the lead guy at the Timberwolves and Lynx in terms of in-game entertainment and live programming. He would come to these Tuesday nights, you know what I'm saying? So he would see me in my element performing, and then they approached me and said, hey, we want to add a DJ to the games, like a live DJ to all the Timberwolves games. Is that something you'd want to be interested in? And I was like, yeah.
Didn't even think about
That's crazy. Like, really? Me? Why?
Why not?
And they're like, well, from what I remember, Chad was like, we like just how you'll go from one genre to the next genre and blend these genres in. And that's kind of what they wanted. They didn't want just all hip hop. They wanted, just like the fan base at a Timberwolves game is, 80-year-olds all the way to kids and all the demographics in between. And so they like that. And then they just like, the live performance aspect of the scratching and just really being a hands-on kind of performer. And I don't think they wanted someone who was just going to just beat match and just kind of be, and I feel that pressure when I'm on camera, like I better be doing something. And I'm like, you got to let me know when you're going to go to me on camera, because then I want to like, okay, I can save a cool little scratch part that I was practicing for when I know I'm going to be on the Jumbotron. Like, all right, we're going to your Mars, 1, 2, 3, boom. And then it's like, and then I go do my thing.
Oh, okay. So they let you know. Okay.
Yeah, they let me know, which is key. But they wanted a performer, so I think they really wanted a turntablist. They just didn't know that that's what we called ourselves.
Yeah, man. Did they ever get one?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Because 13
years later.
13 years. Wow. Okay. Let's branch off into about your generation now. Whose idea? How did it all come together? How did you meet the guys? All that good stuff.
Sure. So in 2010, I had my first child, my son, Henry.
All right.
And so that was really the main, I always kind of credit that because like having a child will really motivate you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like I was doing 4 or 5 nights a week sometimes in a nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was, Henry's mom had a 9 to 5 kind of thing. So I'm on duty during the day and it's like, I'm tired. I DJ till 2 a.m. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I got to do something different here. So I had already developed the concept for Generation Now, which was taking turntablist nightclub style DJs and putting them in weddings and putting them in corporate galas and putting them in school dances, because I was mind blown that like I was going to wedding after wedding after wedding, and I was just blown away by how bad a lot of the DJs were. And it'd be like my cousin's wedding, or it'd be like a good friend,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be just heartbroken because it'd be 10 o'clock and there'd be nobody there. They weren't, not only were they not on the dance floor,
Mm-hmm.
they weren't there. They left. It was that whack.
Wow.
I was like, dude, why didn't you hire me, bro? Why didn't you book me? Oh, we wanted you to just come and have fun. We wanted you to just party. I'm like, DJing is fun. I'd rather be DJing than dancing in the crowd. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was like, man, this market, and I don't know about other cities, I just knew this market doesn't have this option for people who want a real DJ who can keep a dance floor. And that's really what it's all about, is you have to have not just the skills, but the experience to keep a dance floor packed from beginning to end at a wedding, especially when you have all types of people there,
Right.
all types of age groups. And so that was really that is the philosophy of Generation Now, which is taking DJs that are like veteran nightclub style DJs that have nightclub residencies that are doing this week after week after week and developing their skills, and having them do weddings and corporate events and other things like that, which previous to Generation Now, you didn't really have that option in town, because the nightclub DJs were in the nightclubs and the wedding DJs were doing weddings. They weren't in the nightclubs, so we wanted to really make a business out of that philosophy.
Awesome. How did you meet the other guys? How did you meet Maddie Mad, Dudley, Tim Miller?
Yeah, so each have their own kind of story, but Tim Miller is an interesting one, because he's our VP of marketing and events. He's the guy responsible for booking a large majority of our weddings and private events and such, and he helps me with the sports stuff too.
Okay.
But he actually went to high school with me. We graduated in '98 in Bloomington Jefferson.
Okay.
So we knew each other, but then we, lost touch at college and everything. And then, so Chad and the Timberwolves hired me for the Timberwolves gig, and they were like nervous to introduce me to their music director, who's the guy who at the Target Center, the music director is the one playing the prompts, the defense, the everybody clap your hands, to we call them bumps, but it's like those hip hop instrumentals that we play as the players are taking the ball down the court.
Yeah.
So he does all that stuff. And anyway, they were all nervous about introducing me to him and he didn't know who I was. Obviously, I didn't know who he was. They were just like, yeah, our music director, he's kind of a little bit salty. I don't know if that was the right word, but they're like, he doesn't understand why we're hiring a DJ, because he's the DJ,
Right.
And he didn't understand at the time that what I do is more of a performance. What he's doing is more of like flow and just keeping, energy going in the room. And then a performance artist comes on and just, goes crazy for 10 minutes.
Okay.
And so they were kind of like nervous to introduce us. And so they're like, all right, I think it was the Kanye West show, I think it was, at the Target Center. And this would have been in 2008, I believe. And like Lupe Fiasco opened, I can't remember.
Okay.
But that's where I was going to meet the music director. So they take me to the seats and they're like, Tim, this is Nick. This is Mad Mardigan. He's going to be the DJ, for the team. And Nick, this is Tim. He's our music director. And we looked at each other like, whoa, what up, dude? And they're like, oh, you guys know each other? Like, yeah, we were friends in high school. We graduated high school together. And everyone's like, oh, thank goodness, man. We were nervous you guys meeting. And I'm like, oh, man, this is crazy. So, and then soon after, working together for a game or two, he realized, oh, this is way different than what I'm doing. So I wasn't really stepping in his territory. It was an additional element to add to the live in-game entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. How strange, man. How strange things work out that way. And then with Maddie Mad, how you two meet?
So Maddie, he was with like another company at the time called Level 11. You know them?
Yeah, I know them. Yep, Sarge. Yep.
Yeah, great guys. They have a very similar, I'd say, kind of philosophy. Like, those guys are DJs.
Mm-hmm.
They're DJs. They're not. I always say it's like, I feel like a lot of the weddings in town, the big box kind of places, they're more people looking for, extra side hustle, summer gig kind of work. Yes. They're not like actual DJs where this is what you do for a living,
Right.
But yeah, he was a Level 11 and we just really liked his style and we thought he really fit, with what we were doing. And I knew that he could rock, like weddings and other events like that weren't nightclubs, again, goes back to what we were all about. So, yeah, so I remember approaching him just being like, hey, come on over here. We got room for you, bro. Come on over here. So, yeah, him and Dudley go back a ways because they DJ'd at, what was it called? Envy.
Okay, yeah, Envy nightclub. Yep.
Yeah, so he's been with us ever since, and he does a ton of work. He's now a music director also. He helps out with Twins games. Because Tim Miller is the music director for the Minnesota Twins.
Right.
And then him and Dudley D are the main music directors for the Timberwolves. Dudley D is the music director for the Lynx. And then Maddie is like one of our, additional music directors in case we need him to fill in at any of those sports. And then also Minnesota United. If that was happening right now, Maddie would be doing those games as well. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
So he's moved into like music directing and let's see, I'm trying to think of who else has an interesting kind of genesis, but like Dudley D and I kind of, we just formed a friendship because we called ourselves the DJ Dads, hashtag the DJ Dads.
Oh, okay. That's where that comes from.
Yeah. So we were like, man, we're DJs and we're dads. And we actually shot some footage for this producer out in LA because we wanted to turn in DJ Dads into like a reality show. We're like, this is hilarious. Like at 1:30 in the morning, we're in front of this huge crowd and girls are going crazy and dancing. And then get home, you unwind, whatever, you go to bed. And like literally a few hours later, you're changing a diaper. It's like the juxtaposition was crazy.
Yeah, that's a good story, man. How you do your thing, but when you get home, you're dad.
Yeah.
And you like it's like Superman and Clark Kent. You never know. You would never know.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It was super tough at first, and this kind of goes back to how Generation Now started. Is I just couldn't be in the nightclubs 4 or 5 nights a week. It was not working. I was tired. I was not, it was affecting everything. It was affecting my parenting.
Right.
And so we really had to put the wheels in motion with Generation Now. So Henry was born in July of 2010. And by October, so however many months that is, I had LLC Generation Now, got the insurance, got the website up, got the brochures, got a little team going. I had only a couple DJs at first, and then we started doing wedding fairs. That's how we first got out there and doing Twin City Wedding Association.
Wedding Association, yeah, because I would see you guys there. I would see you at Twin City Wedding Association and also the Wedding Brothers.
Yeah.
I would see you guys there too. I will always know who will be at the wedding fairs. Yeah, I know I'm gonna run into Mardigan. I don't run into Mardigan. I'll run into Tim. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'll run into Complete because you'll see those guys there too.
Right.
And of course, Midwest Sound and many other DJ companies there too. So yeah, it's a great way to get FaceTime with brides.
Yeah, man, I go back and forth on these wedding fairs, honestly. We're not doing them now at this point. We made a switch where we basically are taking the money that we would put into wedding fairs into a new website.
Okay.
Into, just the SEO of the new website, and then into just digital, really strategic digital ads.
Right on.
Facebook mostly, Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
And so we're trying that out, and we're just going to see how that works because, man, wedding fairs are just so much work.
Yeah, a lot of work. It's an all-day affair, and by the time you are done with it, it's like you felt like you just went to war or something. All day, all night. It's like a battle.
Well, it's just like constant people, and you're just like, hey, over here, hey,
right,
give us your money. Don't give that guy your money.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, there's too much competition there.
Tons.
Like when we first started, we had a totally different business model than everybody else. We had a turntable DJ in our booth mixing music videos on a big screen.
Yep.
Keeping a party going at our booth, you know what I'm saying? Like actually DJing.
Yeah.
The other DJ companies at the time, they would have a DJ little gear set up or whatever, but they didn't have anyone actually like spinning, you know what I'm saying? And I was like,
right.
So we're clearly different here. But now every booth,
everybody's spinning.
You're spinning in your booth, and it makes sense because it's like, your wedding cake company, they're giving out samples of all their wedding cakes. You got makeup people that are, hey, sit in my chair, I'll show you what I can do with your eyeliner.
Right.
But with the DJs, that like they weren't actually DJing. So now it's hard to differentiate between us and other companies there. So we're trying to be a little more selective with how we spend our marketing dollars.
Absolutely, because they go quick. They do. They go quick, man, and they're heavy. So, okay. So in addition to the marketing and putting Generation Now all together and making your transformations, let's get down to like the fun part though, the NBA games. You're talking to players, you're getting to know them very well. Who has been, some of the Timberwolves players that show you a lot of love? Like if they're practicing, they see you, mixing, whatever. Have any one of them ever came up and say to you like, yo, Nick, drop this in here, drop this song, blah, blah, blah?
Oh yeah, all the time. So I would say it's funny because like the players that I feel the closest to are like our biggest players. So when Kevin Love was with us, and maybe it's because he's the star, he's more maybe of the alpha of the team. So maybe he felt like he could just come up to me and request songs, whereas other players are like, I don't know if that's my place, like we'll let K Love do that, you know what I'm saying? Because those guys would kind of represent for everybody else and be like, here's what we're listening to in practice right now,
Right.
I mean, it's all hip hop. It's all rap. Very rarely do I get a request from a player that's not rap or hip hop. But so now it would definitely be Kat. Kat and I have, I think, built a nice relationship, through music. Yeah. And so he's the main requester with this, this generation of players. And let's see. So Chad, my boss at the Timberwolves, he thought it'd be a good idea, I think like 5 years ago, to have me actually spinning on the court during player practice before doors open.
Yeah.
And have a request sheet next to me, with a Sharpie. And then if players want to request a song, they just come right up, write it down. And then I would have this running document basically of like pages. I kept all of them, dude, because it's like Andrew Wiggins writing,
right.
Hey, I want to hear this track by Benny Siegel, or whatever. He likes like 90s East Coast bangers, which is great.
Okay.
I'm an East Coast, 90s because I'm 40. But 90s East Coast. So Wiggins and I have that in common for sure.
Awesome.
But it's cool because I got all these sheets of all these requests from all the players, that would come up to me and request songs. And a lot of it's Cat. I can tell his writing, from everybody else's. And
right.
So that was a great addition to having me on the court to kind of build that repertoire with the players and get inside their heads as to, what are you listening to right now? Because I want you to play at your best. And if music helps, which it does, home court advantage is a real thing and music plays into that. Like we're playing tracks we know that the players like, you know what I'm saying? And get them amped.
And that was all Chad's idea, huh?
Yeah. He's like, let's put you down on court. And then now other teams are doing that too. And then even more new is I've been DJing actual like practices, so not on non-game days,
Yeah.
At the Mayo Clinic Center and in downtown Minneapolis, across from Target Center, Mayo Clinic Square. And so that's been really good because that's super intimate. It's just coaching staff, players, and then I'm there with my turntables.
That's cool.
So we can really get a dialogue going and get a bunch of song ideas. And it was, I think it was the last practice I did before all this COVID started. I know that Cat he loves Mac Miller. Him and Mac were buddies.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we had actually talked about doing a kind of tribute mix where like Cat would curate the playlist. Like, you tell me what songs you want to put in here, because I'm a fan, but like I just know the party bangers,
Yeah.
He could go deep on it. And he's been in the studio with Mac many, many times, helping him make tracks, giving him little ideas like, hey, make the bass line sound like this or put this part here. So he's got a ear, for music for sure.
Okay.
And another rapper that he's friends with that he likes is Jack Harlow, who's got that What's Poppin' track.
Yeah, What's Poppin'. Yep. Yeah, that's a good tune.
Huh?
I said that's a good tune. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I know. It's such a feel-good track. I love it. I love the beat. I love the chorus. I love his flow. And now the remix is out, which has like I think it's got DaBaby and it's got like Trey Songz maybe. It's got like 3 big names on that remix right now.
I mean, they got so many babies on there.
So many lils.
So many little babies.
So I'm playing a Jack Harlow track at this last practice, and Cat comes running up behind me with his phone on FaceTime, and it's Jack. Like, just he's like, "Yo, DJ's playing."
Get out of here!
I'm like, "What up?" And then he just goes running off, and he's like, "Yeah, anyway." I'm like, "Are you just talking to Jack Harlow on FaceTime at practice right now while I'm like playing his music?" It was just crazy. It was crazy.
Wow. That's nuts, dog. That is nuts. Yo, speaking of COVID, though, I think the last time that I was at a Timberwolves game is when Zion came in from New Orleans.
Yeah.
And that was like early March. I think it was 60 degrees that day. I'm just walking down with the jersey on coming in. I know I'm going to hit some beats and see Zion for the day. That was a Sunday game, too. I usually don't go to Sunday games. But that was the last game I've been to, and then all of a sudden the COVID issue just shut down the NBA. They were the first league to shut down.
I mean, if you really think about it, I don't know what game it was where Mark Cuban's looking at his phone, the classic clip now where he's at a game and he's like, whoa, NBA just, stopped the season. Because that was I think that will go down as the moment in America where, oh, this is for real. It's like, yeah, it's for real.
It's for real, yo.
Are you paying attention globally? Because
Yeah.
it's going nuts right now globally. I mean, that's a whole nother topic, bro. Just the slow response that this country has had. I mean, there's countries right now playing sports, professional sports, in front of live thousands of fans.
Yeah.
But they got no new cases, and we're banned from going there. You know, the United States. Because it makes sense. We were banning certain, Asian countries from coming over here because it was, the outbreak was happening, and now we're still going nuts with all the cases. So, but it is interesting how it was that moment in the NBA, our sport, where I think it was the turning point in American history of like, okay, this is for real. We need to address this.
Right. And then, of course, everybody's staying at home, during that time. And like, what was did you do a lot of binge watching at the time, or did a lot of snacking, Nick?
Definitely a lot of cooking. Jeez. But I love to cook. Like my favorite time during the day is like put in a full day, you're feeling good because you were productive. You did some business work. You did some work around the house maybe, you did some parenting. So
right.
You got everyone in the house. You're making dinner. I just love that feeling, like making food to feed my family and being all around each other because our kitchen's on the main level of our house, and that's kind of where we spend a lot of the time. So everyone's kind of in that general area, so it's like we're all hanging out. I'm usually the one cooking. I mean, that's my wife and I are a great team. She does all the laundry.
Okay.
I do like the kitchen stuff, the dishes, and I mean, she cooks too, and we both chip in on everything. But I love it, man. I've been loving all this time with my main people, my children and my wife.
Right.
When else could we do this? Like, when else could we have all these weeks in a row together, when we're gigging? And it's not just when you're even at a gig. It's like mentally, if I have a gig that day, it's hard for me to just not be thinking about it, even if it's just something as routine as a Timberwolves game and then a nightclub gig. It's still, you're out in front of people,
That's right.
You entertain them, like, and it gives you anxiety. Now, I love DJing in front of people. I love what I do. It's just, it doesn't mean that I don't get a little anxious, before gigs, because again, your career is on the line. I mean, it's like,
that's right.
I've always said, like, it seems like, especially in the social media age, you're almost only as good as your last gig. It's like, wait, I've had, years and years and years of experience, but like, you have a bad couple of gigs, it could threaten whether you have those gigs in the future. So you got to be on point at all times. So, it's
Absolutely.
been nice not to have that kind of anxiety feeling. While having all this family time, because then it's like your brain is mad focused on family instead.
That's true. Because even for myself, it's been like, okay, I feel like I need to be somewhere, but due to this situation, you have time to like sit down, relax, focus on family, focus on other things that are really, really important. And then as this loosens up, hopefully we can get back to the way things were. But what it does, though, I know we were speaking before then, and you say you have some like COVID clauses, some new ways of implementing how you're going to be putting these events together.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we're just kind of following the lead of venues in town that have put together, and actually I think the state of Minnesota has some great templates for COVID procedures and protocols and, response plans and things like that. So we kind of just intermingled a bunch of those and wrote it, in terms of that, that relates to our industry and DJing. And so everything from ways to request instead of coming up to the DJ, providing them with an email that they can go to to submit the request, so that then it's just an extra step for the DJ. They got to have their phone out or the app open on their computer so they can constantly kind of see. Obviously hand sanitizer at the DJ booth, a mask. We're just putting an order for some branded face coverings. So that'll be cool to, have our own logo on our face coverings at least.
I don't know.
Yeah, a variety of things, a lot of common sense stuff. But it'll be interesting to see what happens, with this new, I don't know if it's a new wave or just this now increase in all these cases happening. I don't know what's going to happen in terms of the state of Minnesota, maybe backtracking on the 200, I think it's 250 people right now for an outdoor event.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it goes to 250 in either at the end of this month or August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Like 250. But I'm also thinking that, hey, if you are at a barn, you got like 7 or 8 acres of land. I mean, you can, you can spread them out pretty well. But then there's other guidelines like, catering, how are you going to distribute food and all this other stuff. Yeah, it'll be all new to everybody, though. It'll definitely be new.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. But we are booking now, especially for 2021.
Awesome.
A lot of our 2020 clients have postponed to 21, so it's kind of causing an issue with new bookings because, it's like you're getting 2 years in one because of all the postponements.
Right.
But it is nice to see the bookings starting to come. Like, people are now kind of comfortable thinking like, okay, by July or September of 2021, we should be good by then, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's like this has got to go away, man. We got to sweep this up and push it somewhere else.
I just hope we learn from it, though. Like, there's gonna be another virus.
Yeah.
There's gonna be another one. I've just been thinking like, well, statistically, another virus probably won't be as crazy as this one, just because, viruses, we've had them. We've had SARS. We've had, any number of the viruses that we've had that didn't go full blown like this one did. So this is kind of an outlier in terms of all this. So we might have another virus that might not be as bad, but at least we know now, like, okay, what did these other countries do the moment that they had a case or the moment they knew there were going to be cases? And let's do that next time.
Right. Yeah, get on the ball, man. Get
we could
a
be
good
playing,
jump on it.
Totally. We could. Yeah. I mean, if the other countries have been able to do it and they're playing live sporting events in front of thousands of fans, we could be doing that too right now.
Absolutely.
We could be having NBA games right now.
Yeah, you could be back on the court, man, because I definitely didn't see, I had my schedule pick. I was going to go to this game. I had LeBron at the end of March, definitely to go to that one. And when we were shut down, I was like, oh, wow, man, season is over. I was like, wow, this is a big monumental change. But hopefully, we learn a lot more about this pandemic in the next upcoming months. We'll see how the world reacts and what the numbers are and make some adjustments, man. I hope they go really well, especially here in Minnesota where we're at. But a couple of last final questions. First of all, what is success to you? What's Mardigan's definition of success?
My definition of success. Well, I think the number one thing is that you gotta love what you're doing. Like, I don't care about how much money you make. It won't, I mean, I know plenty of people that are way better off than I am financially, that are not happy as I am,
Right on.
We play music to make people dance for a living. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
And it definitely, not only that, but we provide this escape for most people. Most people aren't like us. Most people do not like their jobs. Most people hate their boss. Most people wish they didn't have the job that they have. So when they go to that wedding on Saturday, or when they come to the poorhouse on that Friday or whatever, we are providing an escape for those people who need it desperately, mentally, for their mental and emotional health.
That's right.
So if you can do something like that, where, you know, you have this fulfilling career where you know that you're positively impacting people's lives, that is success for sure. And then if you can do it, in a way that like the way I look at Generation Now is like I was talking about earlier, I saw a need in this market for something different. You know, like if you can capitalize on a need in the marketplace, I mean, the need is there for a reason. People want it. You know, there's a demand. Maybe they didn't know that they wanted. I don't know. Did people know they wanted like a DJ that can continuously mix and keep a dance floor packed all night? Maybe they didn't know what they wanted, but now they have that option. You know, so I think that's also goes into the definition of success for me is creating something that it was needed in your little part of the planet.
Right on. And speaking of mixing, I don't want to forget, you have shown me something that that you have partnered up with, the little sub thing that you attached to the headphone. I didn't want to forget about that, man.
Oh yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. So this, so these are headphones.
Right on. Cans.
We've all seen these, right? But this, have you seen this before? I don't think so.
No, what is it?
So this is the world's first wearable and wireless subwoofer for headphones. So this is a subwoofer right here, this device. And it's crazy, man. Like, I don't know about you, but like all my life I've been like, man, these headphones suck.
Yeah.
There's no bass. I want bass.
Right.
I got a sub in my car. We always tell clients you should go with a subwoofer upgrade in their wedding package just because it rounds out the sound much better.
Right.
Music these days is so bass oriented. I mean, look at the Billboard right now. Like it's 808 crazy.
Yeah.
So I was DJing a wedding last May, so over a year ago, and this dude was in the audience, and he hit me up on my website the next day, and he's like, "Hey, my name's Buddy, and I created this product. It's a subwoofer that you can wear." And he's like, I want to get this in the hands of DJs and, you know, people in music, and would you be interested in, you know, meeting up with me or whatever? I was like, dude, hell yeah. What are you talking about? A subwoofer for your head? What are you saying?
Right.
And he's like, all right. I met with him like 2 days later. Boom. He's like, here, just put it on. I'll play a track for you. And I got goosebumps, and I was like, so I take video of when I show this product to people.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, do you mind if I record your reaction when the bass drops? All right. You know, most people are like, no problem, man, because it is unlike anything that has ever existed in terms of headphones. And for like, especially for like DJs and music lovers, it's just nice to finally have an option for some bass in your headphones.
That sounds.
And then you take it the next step. You watch a movie with this thing on. It's insane, dude. And I'm not a gamer. I ain't got time for that.
Right.
But people that that are gamers, to get some bass in those, you know, favorite games people play is going to be sweet. So yeah, right now we have 3,000 units. Okay. And I'll have to share with you like a link. Maybe you can put that in the description of this video when you post it.
Okay.
Where people can go and actually order this. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I just shot the official unboxing and instructional video for it, and then edited it in Final Cut Pro. And so people kind of understand how this thing works. And it's dope too, because you can connect this to any set of wired headphones, pretty much any set of wired headphones. You can take this thing off, these ear loops like this.
Okay.
And then it's just an 1/8 inch plug. So then you connect this to your head. You got Beats by Dre, you got whatever you got at home.
Right.
You can add this sub to your headphones you already have. And it's dope because it turns your wired headphones that you already have into wireless headphones, because the input on this Ripple, it's called.
Ripple.
The input on this thing is Bluetooth. So the moment you plug this into your Beats by Dre, you go on your phone, you stream your tracks or whatever from your phone or, you know, your computer, your device, and then it goes via Bluetooth into the Ripple, and then, into your headphones. So it turns your wired headphones into wireless headphones, in addition to having a subwoofer attached to your central nervous system, because it sits right here.
Oh, shoot.
When you have it on, it's crazy, dude.
So your neck is like vibrating. It's like
totally
like you got the hiccups.
It's addicting. I'm excited. I'm so glad he was at that wedding I was DJing. You know what I mean? So
right.
So yeah, so I'll share with you like the website and then a code for everyone of your viewers, and they can get like 15% off if they order it, with our Generation Now Entertainment code. Cool,
man.
Yeah.
I much appreciated.
Yeah, man.
I had okay. 2 more questions. First of all, how can people get in contact with you?
Well, you can. So it depends if you're looking for a DJ for a wedding or a private event, a corporate gala, any events of that nature.
Okay.
You can send an email to info@generationnowdjs.com.
Okay.
So that's info@generation and then now DJs.com, and submit a request there.
Okay.
If you want to just get a hold of me, you can go on to djmadmardigan.com. That's MADMARDIGAN, spelled the wrong way for a reason.
Shame on you.
And you can just go to the contact page on my website and shoot me a message if you want to, talk DJing, if you want to book me for an event. I do DJ lessons, private DJ lessons. And
okay.
I've been loving that. I've built this curriculum. It's for, beginners. I mean, it could be really for any skill level, but it's intended for beginners, especially young students, young kids. So I do a lot of stuff with elementary schools.
Yes.
Yeah. And I actually taught K through 5 for a couple years in a row at my son's elementary school. It was a week-long program via the music teacher.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mrs. Drake at Ridgeview Elementary.
What?
And yeah, I had the turntables all set up, and I just went through the basics. I went through the history of DJing. Every kid got to gum up and actually do the baby scratch.
Okay.
They got to request a song ahead of time, their favorite song. And then I had them all in a crate in Serato.
Right.
And then, all right, Timmy, come on up here. What track did you have? Thunder by Imagine Dragons. All right, got you, buddy. Had it all cue pointed, and he does a baby scratch, drops the track in front of his whole class, and then then I go on to the next kid. It was pretty fun, man.
No, that's really cool, man. To get those kids a little taste of what you're doing, man.
Yeah, hopefully some of them eventually become DJs.
Right on. What do you think about your son Henry? Does he love it?
Yeah, he loves music in general. He's in piano lessons. He's been taking piano lessons for a while. He knows, basics. He knows the baby scratch and the tear scratch, and he'll like when I was doing the class in his class, he was like my little helper. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Oh no, you put your hand right here.
Right.
Don't have the volume up too high.
So, right.
So we'll see, man. I'm not trying to push anything on any of my kids, but obviously if they want to be a DJ, I'm all for that, because it is. I just couldn't imagine doing anything else, as in my line of work. It's super rewarding. Like I said, we're offering an escape for people who need it, who need
right.
Something to just take their mind off of all the negativity that they deal with Monday through Friday, and just release through dancing and, companionship and music.
Absolutely. That's one of the greatest ways to look at it. If you want to escape, you can escape right here. I got you.
Yeah.
Like I tell people, like if I do like a Thursday or a Sunday wedding, it's like, I'm trying to get y'all to like call in sick tomorrow. You're going to have so much fun tonight. You're going to have so much fun. You're going to call in sick tomorrow.
You say that on the mic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell them,
The next round's on me. It's like,
this is on me. Exactly. What does your future look like, though, for Generation Now, DJ Mad Mardigan? Next 5 years.
If you can afford it, have an open bar at your wedding. Like,
ooh.
3 things that I would recommend any potential brides and grooms out there to make, if the intent is to have a wedding that pops off, that everyone says, that's the most fun I've ever had at any wedding in my life. That's the goal. You want your guests to say that.
That's right.
You got to have a dope DJ that knows what they're doing, that has experience. Again, generationnowdjs.com for that.
100.
Second thing is the dance floor needs to be by the bar. Like, you can't have the bar in the other room. You got to have the bar as close as you can to that dance floor, as close as the venue allows it. You got.
I don't know why they do that, man. Why they separate it? It's like it's a fail.
You're like, well, I want this space for dancing and this way. Yeah, people just congregate by the bar, and it affects the dance floor.
Yeah, it's like, put it together.
Yeah, put it together.
You know, put it together, man.
Exactly. Yeah, and if you can afford it, open bar is obviously recommended.
Hello.
That's kind of a side note on that one. But then the third thing, which people don't really talk about, is the bride has to be on the dance floor like 75% of the time.
There you go. There you go.
Like, I did this wedding a couple years ago, and they had me DJing, so they got the dope DJ.
Oh.
Boom. They had the bar, pachoom, right there, right next to the dance floor.
Nice.
But the bride was outside crying, and then she was in the bathroom, and then I was just like, everyone's like, where's Carissa? I don't know if that was her name, but they're like, where's Carissa? I'm like, yo, I don't know. But if you find her, tell her to get on the dance floor.
Get on the floor.
And the moment she did, party came back.
Everybody got on.
That's why they're there. They're there for, they're there for the groom too. But the people on the dance floor really are a lot of them are there for the bride, so to have the bride on the floor, the groom on the floor too is great. But if the bride's on the floor for 3/4 of the night, and the bar is close to the dance floor, and your DJ knows what they're doing, you will have a dope wedding.
Win. Yep. That's winning right there.
Yeah.
And let me know where those places are going to be. Otherwise, what I'll do in the place that I'm at, I will push the bar close to the dance floor. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, come over here.
It's necessary.
Sometimes I shout out the bartenders,
Yep.
Make sure that they have fun. I shout out the caterers if they're just walking with trays and putting something away. I'll bump into them and be like, come on, man, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Everybody that's a part of that wedding needs to have some fun in there too.
Right, because that trickles down. That, like, if they're having a good time, they're going to be in a better mood. They're going to exude more happiness, and then the guests will feel that. And then maybe a little bit of that will transfer into some of the guests. And now Uncle Vernon, who wasn't going to get on the dance floor all night, is pop, lock, and dropping.
Right.
Not that, but he's on the dance floor.
He's twerking.
Uncle Vern.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, one final question, man. Where do you see yourself, Generation Now Entertainment, another 4 or 5 years from now, man?
4 or 5 years from now, a few things. I want to get this Generation Now University. I don't know if we're gonna call it that, but I wanna like, teaching DJing is super rewarding, and it also can cultivate new DJs, in the future. Like the student I have right now, he's in 6th grade.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be great. And I think, we could then hire him, and he could do events for us.
Right.
I want to get that crack-a-lackin'. Our goals for many years has been to scale, like most companies, and branch off into other markets. And we're still trying to figure out the best way to do that, because with my connections with the NBA especially, and knowing all these NBA DJs that are all like turntable style, nightclub style DJs, they totally fit our brand.
Right.
And they're in all these other cities, and like, well, let's have a Generation Now in Chicago. Let's have a Generation Now in Denver. And, we're still trying to figure out the best way to do that. So that, that's a goal of ours. It always has been to branch off into other cities. But I would say, more micro, more locally, it would be to get the Generation Now University up and running, and have continuous DJ classes and curriculums for people. Not just locally, but also, have resources for people that aren't in the Twin Cities that want to learn DJing, through myself and other DJs that we have that have been teaching other people how to do this art. And then I think it would be awesome to have a record label, Gen Now Records, and release music through that. Because already a lot of our team has crazy production skills. Mr. Black, who his name's Corey, he's been with us for a long, long time. He's also has a project called Quid. He's in the studio like 6 days a week making original productions and remixes. Then we have Anthony Casper, who is arguably a legend in the drum and bass scene, especially the liquid drum and bass scene globally. He's been on our team. He's actually our administrative director, one of my best friends.
Awesome.
And so he's got all kinds of releases on vinyl. And we have team members that make music. And for the future, that's really what I want to do. I want to make music. I've always wanted to be at a point in my life where I can do that. But certain things need to be in place to make time to do things like that. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? I'd say that's a nice little selection of goals that we have there. Getting our university up and running, scaling to a couple other cities, and getting our record label up.
Man, well, I'm going to be looking out for that, because I've heard a lot of Mr. Black productions, man. They're dope.
Yeah, even back when he was doing stuff, it was called The Unknown.
The Unknown.
And, he would make these, we call them re-edits, where
I
play them all the time at weddings especially, where he'll take a track like Jesse's Girl.
Yeah.
You got to play Jesse's Girl unless the bride doesn't want to hear it.
Right.
But that's a track you can go into. Now he took Jesse's Girl, duplicated the drum pattern so the drums are much more updated and really punch, especially if you have decent speakers like we do in subwoofers.
Right.
Remaster the whole thing so it doesn't sound like it was recorded in 1985. And then added intros and outros that make it easy for DJs to blend that track into other tracks. You know what I'm saying?
I need to get some of that.
Oh, they're just, he made them, he'll probably be like, dude, why are you telling everyone about my unknown stuff? That was so long ago. But I still play them at weddings, and they kill.
They rock.
He'll make these like hype intros kind of, where he'll take the first part of the verse or the first part of the chorus and kind of masterfully like glitch it so that it kind of builds and hypes up, and then boom.
And then drops into the first verse.
You know?
Wow. Okay. Yeah. He should be out there.
Yeah, so he's more focused now on his Quid. That's QUIDD. His Quid, which is bass music. He has his roots in dubstep. And so, he's just his sound design. And he makes sample packs and stuff too. So, yeah, he's been at it for so long, and like super inspiring, to be able to just make something from scratch routinely like that. That would be sweet.
Wow. Yeah, sounds like y'all got it going on for sure. Man. Your game is tight. Continue to make it tight as ever. My man, I want to thank you for your time. Congratulations on your upcoming child. When is Gina due?
What's that?
When is she due?
Oh, our son, he'll be early October. We're hoping he doesn't come early like our last child did. Our daughter came early, so we want to just keep him in there, for the full term.
Stay in the oven.
And then, we'll see you in early October. So yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. My son will have a little brother. Flora will have a little brother, and it'll really feel like our family's complete. So appreciate that.
All right. Anytime, man. If there's any way I can, lend a hand to Generation Now, you let me know. Word. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing each other a lot more now.
Yeah.
Whether it's at a Timberwolves game or I bump into you at a function, we'll keep that vibe going.
All right, Greg. Thanks for everything that you're doing, too, in the industry, man. We really appreciate it. I've always appreciated talking with you, bro. Yeah,
thanks a lot, man. We'll chop it up some more for sure.
Yep. All right.
All right, my man.